Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here. Welcome back to the channel for another update on Bitcoin. So, the past week it's been pretty slow, pretty sideways for the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. But with this pattern coming to an apex within the next 48 hours, it's looking like Bitcoin and the rest of the markets are setting up for a very, very big move. In which direction is it going to break and how big is this move going to be? Let's talk about it. But before we do dive into there, first of all, thank you for all the birthday wishes I received over the past week while I have been away. Also, the channel finally hit 9.5 thousand subscribers, so thank you very much for that. We're coming up to 10k very, very soon, but let's dive into the content. So like I said, I mean, there hasn't really been too much to talk about for the past week or so. I did post this over on Twitter and I did post this over on my YouTube community tab. So hopefully you did see that and you weren't wondering where I was. But really, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, from when I made my last update, all of the macro analysis is still in play. As you can see, for the past 6 or 7 days, we've more or less just been the exact same price, chopping up a few percent, chopping down a few percent, chopping up a few percent, down a few percent, up, down, up, down. And we did have a major fake out to the downside over here, which was actually in correlation to some Binance FUD, which I will cover in a separate news video. Really a lot of misinformation going out on this, so I will make a dedicated video to this. But yeah, thought I'd just make a quick update. Now, since our last video, as you can see, this video right here, between a rock and a hard place, just like we talked about, we came up and wicked through this CME gap 1. So we did fill the Chicago Mercantile Exchange gap at 29,150. So let's get rid of this CME. There are now really only 2 CME gaps in the immediate short term that you want to keep your eyes on. Up here at 36,000 and down here at $20,285. And this pattern, this Bitcoin diamond top formation on the 4-hour time frame, may be the deciding factor in which way the markets break. So let's talk about this now. Like I said, really in the past 5 days, the analysis hasn't changed. We talked about this before. We did have a fake out to the downside of this, but we are edging closer and closer to the apex of this pattern. Now, this will have a breakout on the 6th of April. Most of the time with these Bitcoin patterns, they tend to break out a little bit before. Really, I think we should be breaking, in the next 24 hours or so. But technically it is possible if the markets really do want to crab for a little bit longer before making that next major decision. We could chop sideways for another 48 hours before either making a big move to the upside or a big move to the downside. Now, I will keep you up to date when we do break to the upside or downside of this pattern. Like I said, I've been away for the past week because there was nothing to talk about, but it looks like as we're coming to the end of this pattern, I am going to be back in the markets. We are going to be looking at all the altcoins, doing new analysis when Bitcoin does finally make a decision. So to the upside and to the downside, there are really only 2 targets that you should keep your eyes on. CME gap 1 up here at 36,000. That is if we break bullish out of this pattern. And to the downside, CME gap 2 at 20,300. If we do not make a decisive move out of this pattern, then I don't think this is going to be a tradable range. We're really waiting for a clear and concise break. Now, in terms of one thing that I haven't talked about before on this channel, I have noticed a very interesting fractal. Now, the stochastic RSI, we obviously quite recently talked about how coming into late January/February, we did top out on the stochastic on the weekly time frame around about 100 when Bitcoin was trading at 24,000. You can see we topped out, we broke back down, but then we had one more bullish flip, and this allowed the price action to move all the way up to 29,500. Now, this double top over on the stochastic RSI, where we actually pushed up in the price and made a higher high, is something that we have seen before. We didn't see it over here. We had a double top in the stock, but we made a lower high. But over here, during Bitcoin's all-time high, what you can actually see is the stochastic topped out at 100 when Bitcoin was priced at around about 53,000. It broke back down, the stochastic bounced one last time, came up to 100 again, and Bitcoin managed to push up from here. So we had one top in the stock, break down, we pumped back up to the upside, and we made a higher high, and this correlated to a double top in the stochastic RSI, and then a major meltdown to the downside. Now, what we're witnessing right now in the price action and over on the stochastic RSI may be very similar, because we've had that first top at 100 on the stochastic RSI, price rolled back down to the downside, and then made a higher high. So This major overextension in the market may correlate to the overextension that we saw at Bitcoin's all-time high, which proceeded with a pretty sizable move to the downside. In fact, from when we topped out, this was about a 52% drop. Now, am I saying right now Bitcoin's going to make a 52% move? No, I don't think Bitcoin's going to make a 52% move, but I do think we're going to see between a 25 and 30% move for Bitcoin once we do finally decide what we are going to do with this diamond top pattern. Now, why specifically those numbers? Once again, how far away are we from CME Gap 1? We're about a 28% move away. How far away are we from CME Gap 2? We're about 28% away. So these two areas are really, really magnets, and how the rest of the markets respond, how the stock market leads this move is going to tell us, which direction Bitcoin's going to break. And also when Bitcoin finally decides to break, we will see very, very quick moves. If you look at, this major move that Bitcoin did from this low, pumping all the way up into this diamond top formation, into around about the heart line, it was about a 15% move. We did push up to fill the CME gap, about a 20% move. So, in the immediate short term, if we break to the downside, we might see a huge, huge move back down to 24,000. If we do break to the upside, we could see another move like this where it was just a 15% face tear, literally, within a day or two. So that's really what I wanted to update you on. Now, while we're expecting about a 25 or 30% move to happen in the next month or so, I did also want to show you the 4-hour time frame, because within about 48 hours of the EMA ribbons tightening while we were in the middle of this diamond top formation, you can see EMA ribbons got tight, and then as they were getting extremely constricted, the Bitcoin price exploded up almost 10%. In fact, it pushed up about 8% from this moment right here, where the EMA ribbons were very, very constricted. In fact, if you want to draw it down from the wick, it was about a 9% move. Now, right now, if we do look at the EMA ribbons, they are extremely tight, and we're right at the apex of this pattern. So once again, if we're looking at round about, an 8 or 9% move away from where we are right now, Bitcoin, if you're a bull and you think we're pushing up, 30,650 could be kind of where we're moving if we do have that bullish flip of the diamond top formation. If we move down about 9%, we could see a move down to about 25,500. So just another thing I wanted to add on, EMA ribbons are getting extremely tight at the end of this diamond top formation. So I don't think it's too likely that we're just going to slowly chop outside of this. Volatility metrics are up in the SP 500, and we're also seeing, a lot of sideways consolidation while these EMA ribbons are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So I do think a big move is coming for the markets. In my opinion, I think we're moving back down. Once again, we are literally just waiting. Right now, it's very, very boring. I could make a Bitcoin TA update every single day and just say, hey guys, once again, we're chopping sideways. Hey guys, once again, we're chopping sideways. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. I try to make the most valuable content I can, and if we're just chopping sideways, none of my analysis has changed, so I'm not going to waste your time and just pump out videos every day when we're looking at the exact same pattern. But ladies and gentlemen, within the next 48 hours, we will have a decision on what Bitcoin's going to do. Now, in the higher time frames, looking at a few different charts, like I've been saying, it's very, very boring right now, very crabby. None of my thoughts have changed. The total two, the altcoin market is still sitting underneath this crucial line of resistance. Not too much to update. Bitcoin whales aren't buying. They're not really selling. It's more or less doing the same as the price action, chopping sideways for the past month or so. The SP 500 actually did have a nice move to the upside in the past few days or so. You can see from this touch point, and potentially this third touch point, we are running into resistance right now. You can see from this uptrending line of support that was flip resistances here, we may be double topping on this trend line, retesting this as resistance before heading back down to the downside. The VIX is not looking too hot, but the VVIX, which measures the volatility for the VIX, is actually bouncing on the 786 Fibonacci. Now, volatility metrics are up pretty strongly today. The VIX is up 5%, VVIX up just over 5%, and the CBOE implied correlation index is up just underneath 5% today. We have actually lost this initial uptrending line of support, which we have had since early February. We either are going to come back up and retest this as resistance before breaking down. We could witness a big stock market rally if that does happen. or potentially we might just be seeing, another higher low in the market. And this trend line may not be too well respected. Do bear in mind, this is just one trend line that you can keep your eyes on for the CBOE implied correlation index. Really, we've been bouncing on this major uptrending line of support since December 2017. And we only bounced on it in January, or coming into February. So all in all, volatility is still looking like it's etching up higher. We also do have some important economic data coming out this week. Today, we had the JOLTS job report. Now, when this came out, the markets absolutely did not like this. We've been dumping to the downside for the JOLTS job openings for the past 3 months. As soon as this happened, we saw volatility metrics absolutely shoot through the roof, up 5%. For the rest of the week, I would say on Thursday, keep your eyes on jobless claims, and also on Friday, the US stock market will be closed, but we do have non-farm payrolls and we have the unemployment rate. These are two very important metrics coming in on Friday, and then also jobless claims will be very important for Thursday. These are the three major ones that I've got my eyes on for right now, and while the stock market will be closed, at least US stocks will be closed on Friday, do bear in mind Bitcoin is open 24/7, and we will have a pretty big week coming into this week. So for today, my friends, that's really all I've got. Once again, my price targets are super simple. My analysis is unchanged. We're still looking at the exact same things as before. For the past week, like I said, I've just been enjoying my birthday, enjoying a little bit of time off. Hopefully, you do have notifications turned on. Hopefully you do see my posts on the community tab saying that I was going to be away for a few days. Also over on Twitter, like I said, make sure you do follow me over on Twitter, because sometimes when there's not a lot of important things to post, I will be more active on Twitter, because I don't want to just not post whatsoever. So once again, hopefully you saw these messages. If not, make sure to follow me over on Twitter. Make sure to turn notifications on so you do get these posts when I do post in the community tab, and you're not wondering, where I am for a few days. So, like I said, the past week I've been away, but right now we're coming up to the apex of this pattern, and it's looking like when Bitcoin makes this next major move, I'm going to be a lot more active in these markets, making a lot more videos. So for today, my friends, that's all I've got. Once again, thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for 9.5k on YouTube. We're coming very close to 10k. Very exciting stuff. For today, my friends, that's all I've got. As always, if you do enjoy my content, let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment. Share the videos with your friends. If you want to further support the channel, click the join button and become a member today. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter so you're not missing out on my posts when I am away from the market. And also, if I am away, be sure to come and join the Discord so you can chat with me while I am not making videos. If you head over to my YouTube page, click on the About section, you can see my Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and merch store are down below. So, hope to see you on Twitter, hope to see you on Discord, and I will be back in the next 48 hours once Bitcoin makes this next major move. For today, like I said, it's all I've got. I've said that probably so many times. I've been away for a week, so I feel a bit rusty. But yeah, all I've got. Cowboy out. Peace.